What's up, sports bettors? We've launched a bunch of new features and products kind of on OddsJam, so I figured I'd kind of do a recap of everything recently launched, and hopefully you find it valuable. So we really listen to all feedback emailed to us and YouTube comments, everything like that, just trying to build the best tools for sports bettors. So the first thing we built is a mobile app, right? And this mobile app is solely for historical player prop trends. It'll be available for NFL, everything like that. So a lot of people ask about historical data. So for example, we'll just pull up a prop. I just searched for Mookie Betts. This is a free mobile app. There's a link in the description for kind of anything you want to take a peek into. But let's say we wanted to bet on Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases, right? You can essentially look into, okay, if I'm interested in betting on this prop, how has it done over the last 5 games? We can see it didn't hit the last 2 games. It hit the 2 games before, and then it's hit 3 out of the last 5 games, basically, or 2 out of the last 5 games, I guess. So you can essentially slice historical data in a bunch of different ways and visualize it for any props you want to bet on, right? So we can see Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases has cashed 33 out of 73 games this season, 45.2% of the time, right? So if we were to have bet this at plus 121 odds throughout the season, every single game, we would have broken even. That's what implied odds means, right? So you can use kind of the historical app to look into trends, look how players have been trending, all sorts of things like that. Well, how has Mookie Betts performed at home versus away, right? So you can look at historical data, essentially, to try to get an edge over the sportsbook. So that's one of the first features we launched. Now, the second feature, which is pretty cool, is a parlay building tool. So right here, we can see we have the Orioles. Let's say I wanted to bet on the Orioles and the Reds in my parlay. So you just click this little Add to Parlay button, and you can add as many legs as you want. And then you just click up here. So we click this little Add to Parlay button, add all the legs you want on OddsJam from any of the odds pages. Then you just click this little button. And what it will tell you is, hey, the best odds, if you want to go with Reds money line and Orioles money line, is going to be plus 473 on BetOnline, right? So it's kind of line shopping for parlays, which is pretty cool. So you can see right here, Caesars is only giving us plus 441 on the Reds-Orioles parlay, BetOnline giving us plus 473. Obviously, as a sports bettor, I'd rather bet $100 to win $473 as opposed to $441. So whenever you're betting on parlays, hopefully this tool is helpful to you. It was highly requested at OddsJam just for finding the best odds on any parlay you want to bet on. So hopefully you find this tool valuable. So that's kind of thing number 2. Thing number 3 is right here. So this is just going to be filters, right? So on any of the betting tools on OddsJam, you can now kind of have more in-depth filters, right? You can filter by min-max odds. Maybe you don't want to place bets above plus 500 odds, whatever, right? Or you don't want to place bets below minus 300 odds, whatever, right? You can kind of tailor around what bets that the software shows you. Market with, sport, league, do you want to bet on player props and alternate markets, or do you not want to? You can filter around all these different things to ideally try to find bets that you believe are going to be most profitable. So another thing you can do now is you can click into odds, right? Like you can literally click into odds for a specific bet just directly on the betting tools. So as an example, maybe I'm looking at the top bet on OddsJam, the most profitable bet, which is Hoskins over 1.5 total bases, and it's plus 115 odds. And I'm like, hey, it's cool that we have a 6.63% profit margin, but what odds are other sportsbooks giving us, right? So we can just click into this and we see, hey, yeah, this bet looks really freaking good, right? Caesars is all the way down at minus 117. Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, only giving us minus 113. So it's pretty clear that FanDuel is a true pricing discrepancy, giving us plus 115 odds at Hoskins over 1.5 bases. So maybe this is a bet you want to lock in. So you can directly click into any bets you want to look at just using OddsJam, right? You can click into any odds. So I just clicked into Cole Irvin, under 4.5 strikeouts. FanDuel's the only book giving us better than minus 165 odds. Seems like a pretty good bet to place, right? So you can directly look at the entire betting market in your location, right? I'm in New York. You can change your state at any given time by just clicking into the odds screen. So those are a few of the main features. I guess some other things are we launched a Discord. So Matt gives out a lot of his free picks. I give out some too. Whenever he finds a profitable promo, stuff like that, he'll give out some picks for free. There's some premium channels, but also a bunch of free stuff as well. So as you can see right here, he'll give out some free picks, some analysis, stuff like that. So you can feel free to join the community. Now, what else is new? So we can go back to a specific odds page. So there's the Parlay Building feature, right? Essentially, all you'll see on OddsJam is for any line you want to bet, you can switch around the market, right? So OddsJam is, literally constantly scanning the sports books, DFS companies, all of them, all their lines, everything you can kind of think of, total bases and batter props, pitcher props, money lines, to try to show you where there's value, right? So we can see right here, let's go back here. Let's go back here. In the Reds-Cardinals game, the main premise of OddsJam is we show you where you can get the best odds in real time, right? So for the Reds, you can see the best line is plus 137 on WinBet. DraftKings only giving you plus 130. So at the end of the day, it's like, would you rather bet $100 to win $130 or 137 if you're in the state of New York? And obviously, you'd rather bet 100 to win 137 in profit. So OddsJam will show you the best odds for any wager you want to place, highlighted in green. Doesn't matter if you're looking at money lines, total runs, whatever you're looking at. We kind of have all the data, alternate lines, everything like that, just to try to show you, okay, where can you get the best possible line for any bet you want to place? If you want to go with over 11.5 runs in, the Reds-Cardinals game, hopefully you're placing your bet on, DraftKings, which is giving you plus 160, or Caesars, which is giving you plus 160, right? So that's kind of all that's new there. Although I will add, another cool thing is we do publish a lot of content daily, just on this news page. So you can kind of read our articles, our betting analysis, just to stay up to date with, betting analysis for really every MLB game, which will kind of go into NFL as well. So we also have injury alerts now. We have futures, so betting on futures, and that's about it. So you want to stay up to date with injury alerts. We have injury alerts now completely available. You can opt in with your email. It's free. Stay up to date. Whenever a player gets injured in real time, you can get an email. And obviously injuries lead to line movements. So those are kind of the things on the odds pages. Then there's a bunch of calculators. Some of them are new. A Poisson calculator, which is really valuable for prize picks. Kind of looking at the differences between jumps in the line. And then we have, I'm trying to think what else. Basically the same betting tools as always, right? Positive EV bets, find bets with a mathematical profit margin. So we can kind of go through all the betting tools, I guess, right? The positive EV page, which I, spend most of my time on, just shows you big line discrepancies, right? Out of the millions of odds on sportsbooks at any given time, most bets aren't profitable because of the vig, because of the juice, the spread that sportsbooks charge. It is pretty hard to find profitable bets. But when you're using OddsJam, as you can see right here, this software will kind of go through and just point out the line discrepancies for you, right? Such as Hoskins over 1.5 bases, which we discussed previously, right? This software literally shows us, hey, FanDuel's the only book giving us plus money, right? we're getting literally over 30 cents, 30 cents better essentially than every sports book. Maybe this is a bet you want to look at and lock in. So that's what the positive EV tool shows you. It just spots with value. Arbitrage, again, just kind of a risk-free profit by betting on equal and opposite sides. Then we have the free bet converter. So sportsbooks offer bonuses, free bets. You can convert those bonuses into cash risk-free, kind of using a free bet calculator. So if we have a $100 free bet, on FanDuel, or a $10 free bet, let's say, from some promo, what this will show us is, hey, place your $10 free bet on the free play line, Rosario over half of a home run, and then go hedge 66-67 on the under on DraftKings, as you can see kind of right here, and you'll turn your $10 free bet into $833 in risk-free profit, right? So free bets are different than cash, so understanding free bet conversion, there's little help guides here, is pretty valuable. So that's kind of free bet conversion. Then we have low holds, which is useful for deposit bonuses, stuff like that. It's essentially just close markets, right? If there's no ARBs available and you want to work through a deposit bonus without having, much risk, what you can do is you can check the low holds page, right? So if I have a Bet Online account and a Caesars account, I could bet $110 on Albert minus 110 money line, $110 on Nicholas Jerry plus 110 money line, and there's going to be no loss in money, right? I'm just essentially transferring money between sports books, but this will help you kind of like churn through deposit bonuses, playthroughs, and also build up rewards credits, right? Rewards credits on sports books. So that's what the low holds tool does. And again, all these filters, so you can kind of like filter to see specific bets. The middle tool, and then the positive EV tool, and then finally the bet tracker, right? The bet tracker is pretty cool because it auto grades your bets as wins or losses, so you'll know your profit and loss by sportsbook, stuff like that, your ROI, and how often you're beating the closing line. So something I like to do on a daily basis is just like scan through my bets and make sure, hey, am I beating the closing line consistently? Because I know that beating the market in the long run, beating the closing line, means I'm going to make money. I have the mathematical advantage. So you can kind of go through and see for all your bets, did I get better odds than the closing line? So you always want to get better odds than the closing line, but you can't always do it, of course. So those are kind of the new features, updates on OddsJam, and hopefully you found this helpful. Any questions, suggestions, feedback you have, feel free to comment it below. This was just kind of an update on the product, the feature, stuff like that, and hopefully it was helpful. So let's make some money.